Hi, this is a single leader Postgres strategy. We have to create one server that's going to be the primary server. In this case, I'm using Docker, is this one with this IP address, and the secondary server is actually here as well. And I'm doing that in this way just for demonstrate and also because I want to have the two servers using the same Postgre binary setup, etc. And then what we have to do is firstly start our servers. It's going to start PG1 primary, PG2 the secondary server, and then when it's ready, I can attach to the container and update the Debian package and install Postgres 13 and then some VI editor to help during configuration. And I do the same for the secondary server and then install Postgres 13. And then the first thing we have to do is to allow the secondary server to connect to the primary server. And for that, we need to initiate Postgres, and then we need to create a replica role user so that our secondary server can connect to the primary server. And to do that, we do in this way replica role with replication encrypted password, and then we set some password here and just to be short, and we set that password. And then another thing we have to do is to enable external connection to this server. And to do that, I'm going to expose for anyone that wants to connect to the server. In your case, you must take care of the setup that you want to make it secure enough for you. So just for now, it's going to listen to everything. So the next thing I want to do is I want to create a slot in Postgres so the secondary server can can rely on this slot to collect data from the primary server. So for that, I call this function, call it pg create physical replication slots, and then I set a name for the slot. And the slot was created, and now we can move to this secondary server, and we need to check if this is like the current status of the server here. It's down. I want to demonstrate that this server is different than the first one. So for that, I'm going to log in into Postgres and check for the tables that I have. And right now I'm going to connect to Postgres, and then here, if I create a table, let's say testing table, and there is just one field called text, and I create this one and I try to select data from the testing table, I can see there is none. But if I go to the secondary server and I try to do the same, I can actually see there is no testing table because they are not connected. That's not a replica. So next, we want to create this replica. And to do that, we have to go to this specific folder where the Postgres data is located. So we have this folder with Postgres data, and we want to have exactly the same that we have on the master for this folder. So to do that, we firstly delete the folder and we create it again, and we set permissions for this folder again, and as you can see is owned by Postgres user. And now I want to log in as Postgres because I want to call this tool called PG base backup. This tool is going to download the resource from Postgres primary server to the secondary server. And to do that, it's also going to tell that this is a standby server, and then this is going to download the content from the primary server. So for this CLI tool, we have to provide where the server is located. In our case, is this IP address, and we're going to use this username and in this Postgres port, and the location is going to be main folder that we just hit create. And we also need to pass some extra parameters here. This is for create the backup and create a secondary connection to manage the download properly. And then we also need to specify the slot that we want to create a replica from, in our case, primary. So this happened because the primary server is not receiving connection from that specific server. So we have to update that one. PG PG, and then we have to tell the database that we want to give access, and the user is in our case replica role, the one that we created before, and the IP address of the machine that we want to allow access. So now we have to restart the server, restart, and then we can try again, and we provide the password, replica, pass, and it download the content from the primary server and added this standby signal here, and then we are ready to go. Next, what we want to do is to actually start the secondary server and see the behavior. So in this case, let's start the server, and we can do something like this to check if we can connect. We are using the Postgres database, and if you try to do that again, collect data from testing, we can actually see the data here. And if we do something like this, and then we go to Postgres and we insert data into the testing table, name and values, let's say it's 111, and insert. And if we go to the replica, we can actually see the replica data available here. That's basically it.